Welcome to Cosmic Comics, Games and Collectibles, your zen of geekism. We carry comics old and new, magazines, toys, games like Pokemon, Magic, D&D. Want Godzilla, Ultraman, Star Trek, Ninja Turtles, Funko Pops? You'll find it all here. Shop our Cosmic Sound Room and pick up a record or two. Enjoy our Comic Coffee Lounge with a cup of Sasquatch coffee or a delicious menu item while geeking out over a super cool movie on our big screen. Come by and say hello to Maui. Cosmic Comic, Games and Collectibles. Superman loves us, and so will you.
Your favorite podcast is Critical Blast.
So I'm like, what comic books are you reading?
We're reading independent comic books, Kelly, because that's where the action is right now. So, if you want us to read yours, write some good comics. It's all we ask. It's all we've ever asked is good comics. And right now it's Indie that's giving it to us. Hello, everybody. I am RJ Carter, Senior Managing Editor here at CriticalBlast.com, Chief Envelope Licker for Critical Blast Logistics, myopic proofreader for Critical Blast Publishing, and apparently, contract signatory to Critical Blast Consulting. Yes, they're all real businesses. There are logos for each one, which, nothing says real business like a logo, right? So, LLC underway. We are doing everything, and it's all about bringing entertainment to you, whether it be through novels, anthologies, or helping other people get their crowdfunded comics to you in a timely fashion and in a product that is easy to read and fun to read. So, in that vein, let us not wait any longer before we bring tonight's guest on. It is Michael Nunnally, who is going to talk to us about Satyr. And if you've watched Vikings, this is going to be a book that's right up your alley. Michael, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Thanks for having me on the show.
Always a pleasure to have you here. I mean, it's almost a pleasure to have anybody here, really. I say that to everybody, but I mean it for all of you.
Totally. I'm pretty excited about this, man.
There's one or two I don't want back, but they ask. They usually showed up during open mic night, so it's a different story. So, wow, what were you doing the last time we were on here? Because
we were doing the Guardians of Alayam for Omen Comics last time I was on here. Yeah,
because that was tying all into your Revelations universe.
I actually they're separate. The Omen Comics universe is its own universe, and all of the Revelation Comics titles are all within their own individual universes.
Okay, I thought they tied together, but memory's the second thing to go, and I couldn't tell you what the first thing is. I don't remember anymore.
No, I mean, technically because we mix this mixes like mythology in it, and it has that horror thing going with it. I mean, you could squeeze this into the Omenverse if you really wanted to, but it's technically not a part of it.
Oh yeah, I would definitely not expect Satyr to be a part of it. As you were explaining to me earlier, Satyr being the Viking word for magic, and
yes.
In more of the Omenverse, magic, supernatural activity all comes from more celestial. It comes from on high, not from the universe itself.
Correct. Different gods and whatnot.
So what made you? Go ahead. I was just going to say, what made you branch out the Vikings? I think we have a lag.
Oh, sorry about that. In the Omenverse, I'm Irish, and so I added a lot of Celtic stuff with the Omenverse, but I'm also Swedish, and I wanted to do something that involved my Viking heritage, and the story really, It has horror in it. It's a horror book, obviously, but what's different about this and my other books which have elements of horror in it. Satyr is my first attempt at just a straight up horror comic. I'd even call it a grim, dark horror comic.
All right. I'm going to allow uncomfortable pauses tonight because I think we do have a lag, and I don't want to step on your words with mine.
Okay.
So folks, if you see that, just understand what's going on here. So what kind of research did you put into Vikings? And don't tell me you watched the History Channel Vikings program. That's although it's probably just as good as anything else. But
most of my research went into the Viking mythology. I wanted to know. I wanted to know like how the Vikings, how they perceived their gods, how they. I guess for that, one of the more modern versions I looked into was Asatru, which is a religion which in modern times which worships the Norse gods. So I looked at some of how they interacted. Well, I did watch the History Channel Viking show. I also watched a lot of their actual historical documentaries and stuff. I looked into Wikipedia a little bit. And one of the main things I had to look into actually was in 793 AD. The Vikings attacked the monastery on Lindisfarne. And what I wanted to do was take that story and just completely turn it on its head. It's originally, in history, it was pretty much a slaughter. The Vikings showed up. Nobody was used to people attacking monasteries, so there's nobody protecting them. They just kind of killed everybody, took the treasure and took off. But I thought, what if we could? Yeah, I thought, what if we could put a little myth, like a different spin on it, so that it involves mythology and maybe there we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Erwinberg is our font of information.
Yeah. I wanted to put a spin on that would make that them coming to Lindisfarne a completely different tale.
So sort of an alternate history.
It is. It's definitely an alternate history tale.
Right.
I mean, well, the only actual thing from history that's in the book is the Vikings are going to go to Lindisfarne. But other than that, everything else is different.
Yeah, Norse mythology, the Norse gods, it's so wild when it's compared to when you compare it to the other religions, like the Greeks and the Romans and Chinese. It's like I recall that their creation myth was like, who the three first gods were: Odin, Vili, and Ve. And where did they come from? Well, they were frozen in a block of ice, and a great cow Emer licked them out. Like, really? I mean, how drunk did you have to be to come up with this? You couldn't come up with something more cosmological.
Right. There's also the bit with Ymir, the frost giant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that whole beginning thing was a little strange. I never really felt like in Greek mythology, I feel like things were a little bit more put together as to how the universe was formed and that kind of thing. But this one seems kind of like, well, these things were just here, and this is what happened to start everything.
Exactly. The other interesting thing about the Viking gods when compared to all the others was that the Viking gods actually had an end. They weren't immortal. Ragnarok was coming, and they were going to die.
Yes.
And that
yes,
made them,
that's a huge difference.
They've not done it yet, apparently, but it's in their future. And yes, this is an interesting take on the Vikings. If you're trying to look at the page, you're going to have to rely on me, folks, because the link that you're going to see right now is going to take you to the sort of a pre-launch page where you can click the notify me of updates. We are looking at an exclusive little preview here, so y'all can't go here, but we're going to see what's going to be available on these tiers. That's why there's $0 out of 1740. What currency are you putting this thing in, man? Why is it 1742?
For instance, the just paying my artist is going to be $1,330. So I mean, it costs a lot. It's going to be a 32-page book.
Yeah, but I don't mind the cost. I think that's a a reasonably low goal. But you got it budgeted to the penny here or something. It's 1,742.
Yeah,
Just seems like
yeah.
an oddly rounded goal.
I'm totally not trying to make money here. I honestly, one of my main goals is just to put out comics without going into debt. So I'm asking for just enough to cover my costs, so that I can afford to make the next comic.
Well, okay. Let's try to get this to 2,000 and beyond. What day are you going to launch this? Do you have a day in mind yet?
My current date in mind is the 1st
of March.
Yes,
Okay.
that is my current date. But as this, just to keep it on the safe side, I've said the first week of March, because it might take, I don't know, that a hiccup might happen or something. It might take an extra couple of days or something. But mostly, I'm just waiting for the colors to come back in. We've already got the inks in, and the colors are getting done. I want to be able to share some of those in the launch.
Okay. So you're going to put some of the colored pages on here, in addition to what you've already got ready to go.
Yes, that one you're looking at there is the variant cover. That's the only people getting that cover are the ones who back this Kickstarter campaign and my Patreon members.
Yeah. Now, this makes it pretty obvious that magic is involved here, because these guys are dead. we got zombie Vikings fighting here.
Yeah. The
and they're freshly dead.
I can reveal this part. You're full on gonna see the dead coming up and fighting the living during this battle you're seeing here. So the dead coming up off the ground there with the arrow in the head and all that stuff, that's right out of the comic.
Okay. And this looks like that would probably be their puppeteer standing in the background here.
That is the vulva, which is a Norse.
Careful,
witch.
family show.
Right? No, Volva, vulva. It's a Viking witch.
So hell hath no fury like a vulva scorned.
Yes. Essentially, a Viking king and his army goes to this other country to raid, and things end up going really bad, and they end up having to stay there in this other country for a time being. And during that time, he ends up falling in love with a witch. Well, when he rejects her, she's none too happy about it.
So he falls in love with her, but then it's like sort of one of those Vietnam loves where, hey, we're going back home. It's been fun.
It's exactly like that. Yes.
Oh, goodness. Okay. So we know how to relate to it.
Right.
And these four guys here, this guy doesn't look like a Viking. This guy here looks like somebody took young Ben Affleck and threw him into the past. And he's like, oh my God, I'm going to die.
Yeah. I suppose I could see that. That is the guy there on the top with the two axes. That is King Ingvar, and that kid on the side there is his son.
Okay.
So he's intended to look young.
Yeah, no beard yet. Hair's kept short.
Yep.
And dark too, which is not what I would expect from a Viking. But
that is true. That's true. I'm not really positive why the hair went black on the cover there. If I remember correctly, it was brown in the script.
Okay. Maybe that's what made him stand out to me, was the fact that, these guys look like Vikings. The red hair, the beards, the blonde hair, and then
right.
Marine guy.
What I'm thinking is it was an aesthetics thing. That guy in front there, his hair is supposed to be red.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that if you put with brown on the other guy's hair, I'm not sure it would I'm not sure the aesthetics would look the same. I'm not with that shade of red in there with the brown hair. It might have thrown things off a little.
Yeah, and against the red sky too, that would
Right.
be like budding the hair piece. I
I'm
don't know.
guessing
I'm not an
that's what it
artist.
was.
I'm not the artist. I don't know color theory, but this is our A team. You've got the king and his son, and I'm guessing I don't know two of
It's
his
his
best
brother
guards.
and his best friend.
Ah, well, there you go. That is the A team. And I love the weapons. Now, when you have something inscribed with Nordic looking characters, are they really Nordic looking characters, or are they Nordic-esque looking characters?
Well, they are from what will one day be Sweden.
Okay, but
So,
I mean,
yes.
does it say something? I mean, if somebody looked at that and said, "Hey, look, he spelled out this in ancient Viking letters."
Oh yes, there is actually for the magic when the spell is being cast, I use actual ancient Norse in there.
Cool.
I like to put that in there for the magic, mostly because I imagine if you're Norse and you're reading that, it's just going to look like words. But I liked I liked the idea of it being that way. I mean, if it I don't know, it had a magical look to it, I guess, to me when I put it in the script.
Speaking of magic codes that have meanings, you've got something on your cover here that I don't normally see on a crowdfunded book. You got a barcode, man.
Yes.
What?
Well,
It's
it's kind of I'm preparing for one day when they're not just small books. I want to be prepared for when Wicked maybe gets some distribution. I want this book to be ready.
All right. Well, so what is this? The ISBN number? You get one of
Yes.
those just turned into a barcode?
Yeah. I got it. You get them. You get pretty good deals on them at Speedy Barcodes. That's where I go to.
All right. Well, that's forward thinking. So you will be ready to go as soon as. Now, I haven't looked far enough down, but do you have a retailer tier?
No.
Oh,
No. This will ultimately be published and sold in printed and digital form on Wicked Publishing. I'm going to sell it in digital format, like on KDP, and it'll be on Global Comics and stuff. But there isn't. It isn't intended. It isn't right now set to go to stores. That Wicked doesn't have distribution at this particular point.
right. But I mean, you're going to distribute physical copies to people who back, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
one of the things that many people put on their campaigns is they're like, hey, this is a retailer tier. Buy 5 copies, buy 10 copies, get this price. And then you ship it directly to that store that ordered, not through a distribution center, but as a backer.
I'd actually never even. I'm somewhat new to this, I guess. I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, just throwing it out there as a potential before you end up launching. You might want to consider it.
I'll definitely think about that.
So we have some excerpts here from some of the pages. Again, these aren't colored. Are these the ones that you're going to replace with colored pages, or the colored page is going to be different pages?
I'm eventually going to put. I want to put like the inked pages and the colored pages on there. There's only 3 inked pages there. I thought if I added the colored versions of those underneath them, just to kind of show the progress of everything. That was my plan anyway.
I got you. So we get to see the progression. I like that. This is quite the battle page too. I mean, there's a lot of decapitation going on around here. That seems to be the favorite.
Well, it is a horror book, There's got to be a little gore in there.
Yeah. Plus, headshots are the only way to take out a zombie. Everybody knows that,
right?
And since they don't have guns, you just remove that head a different way.
Yeah. Technically, these are the. I believe I'm not positive I'm pronouncing this right, but I believe they're called the Habagu. The undead there. They're people that they come up out of their graves, but
Okay.
they don't wander too far from where they were at, and so those are the undead that were raised because they died there on the battlefield.
Gotcha. Did you have to provide your artist with visual references for the armor and such, or did you just say they're Vikings, make them Viking-y?
I provided some stuff for it, but he really does a lot of research. Like I'm usually able to describe pretty much whatever I want in the script. Sometimes I'll add a little picture for reference and stuff, but Tosin really does his research. I'm gonna say most of that looking that way is his work.
This is you can get lost watching in this battle scene alone here. Just everywhere you look, there's action going on. There's expression.
Yeah. Yeah, he really went all out with this one. I mean, I say this with every book, but I mean it's true. I really am amazed by this. I mean, every time he does a book, I'm just like, this is your best work yet.
And here, of course, is the same battle with the vulva.
Yeah, these are a
I'm sorry, I'm
succession
going to
of
giggle every time I say that.
pages. These are a succession of pages. I believe it's pages 5, 6, and 7.
Okay. And it looks like he's going down on his knees, almost like he's saying, "Okay, we give up. Quit doing this."
Well,
But you can't.
no. Um, I'm not. I suppose I
Lettering
could
will make you
probably
fall.
say something about that. He's actually calling on Odin.
Okay. That makes sense. See, without the words, you get this, and then the next juxtaposed thing, it almost looks like he's crying out to her. It's just the way that the picture direction takes it. But yeah, words would, crying out to Odin, and she'd say something like, there's no Odin here.
Right.
Odin can't help you now.
Yeah. Actually, you should read that. I don't know if can you read that little quote I put in there? The excerpt from it goes up a little bit. Go up a little bit. There's a little excerpt right here.
Okay.
That's the words that are on that page there.
Okay. So let me put on my narrator's voice here. King Ingvar. Deathly wounded, I fought side by side with my brother, son, and best friend. We went into space. No, I was another story. Sorry. We fought a battle worthy of Valhalla, but it was not enough. They say our fates are sealed. We can run, we can hide, but we will not live 1 second longer than the gods have determined. That day, I was certain our fate had come. But while I longed for the halls of Valhalla, my warrior's heart would not give in to it.
Yeah, that's a little bit from that page that you're looking at right there.
All right. It just needs some drums. Dum, 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 dum,
Right.
and a bunch of swords clanging and people shouting out in pain. Yeah, there's a soundtrack to this. We can we can make that happen.
Hell yeah.
And then she raises her staff and
there's the dead rising.
So all the people they just killed, you gotta kill them again.
Yeah.
That's just not fair. So I knew there was merch.
Yeah, that's the shirt we're offering there. That's the art for the standard cover.
Right, and then you have the alternate cover is going to be available as a
actually there's some theme music in that video there. Can you play it?
I can, but I'll have to stop sharing to share it back.
Oh, bummer.
Because I didn't share sound, but I can take care of this. I can just share again. Wait a second. I've got to actually stop the screen, not just remove it, and then share it again. Share system audio, pop it up. Yeah, of course. Every once in a while, StreamYard goes into Flickr. I'm sorry for anybody who just had a stroke right then um, from that happening. Okay, here we go.
Those are the posters we're offering. We're offering all the covers for our Resurrection titles, our Revelation Comics titles.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
it's the standard and the variant cover of Seder, plus the Blitz #1 cover and the Insurrection Fox Operation cover.
Now, are those
That
books
right,
that are already out, or are they coming?
they are already out.
Cool.
Yeah, that right there is the sticker we're offering. It's a 3x5 waterproof.
That's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got we've got stickers of our logo. It's a circle, so it's 3. So I know that 2 more inches out to the side. That's you can put that on a car.
Yeah, and you'll notice that's basically straight from the variant cover, but with a Viking sword added on the top there.
Yeah, and it looks like is it textured, or is that just the painting behind it?
It's just the painting behind it. There's a storm going on in the background, so that's how he colored it.
Okay, because yeah, it looks like it looks scaled, like armor or something. So I thought
No,
maybe it
that's
was like a
just
metallic sticker.
no. It's just storm clouds colored in the background there.
All right, and you're going to go through Comics Wellspring for printing.
Yeah. You know, one thing you'll notice there, you can't see it because it's pretty low, but we have a digital guarantee that we are offering, and honestly, I don't know of a single other comic book creator that is offering this, because we are making this comic book anyway. If you back this project and it for some reason is not successful, we are still going to send you a digital copy of Seder #1 for
Whoa!
putting your faith in us in backing the comic. And it's not going to be just any digital copy. It's going to be the digital copy with the variant cover on it.
Oh, cool. Yes, it's important actually that digital copies have a cover. Um, I've known people who tried to go without the cover because they didn't think it was important. It's very important.
Oh yeah. It should be just like reading a comic, but in digital format, in my opinion. And that's
Yep.
exactly how we do it.
I've got the clicks memorized for. I get a lot of digital comics from other publishers for review purposes, from mainstream publishers. It's like, okay, open it up. Nope, click this, click this, click this. There it is, and that takes the cover and it puts it on the far right, and that way I can see it, opening like you'd be holding a real book when page 2
right.
goes to the left and page 3 is on the right. Otherwise, you're looking at half of a splash page and you might not be able to follow it. That's why I used
Yeah,
to
you
hate
know,
PDFs.
that is one thing I totally recommend for anybody making comics. Just by the way, yes, I'm in Susanville. By the way, just to answer that guy's question.
Oh,
Yeah. Um, so where was I? Where was I?
yeah, you got to get on Don
Lost.
Chen's channel.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure, that'd be great. But yeah, the digital copy that we're offering is essentially the same version the same PDF we're using to make to print the comic, but
Okay.
it's in RGB rather than CMYK.
Yeah. So, if you print it, yeah, you can read it, but it's never going to be as good as what it would have been.
Right.
Well, I can't see any reason why you wouldn't get published, though. I mean, for successful, because that's an extremely low goal, and this is not your first rodeo. You've created it. Well, it doesn't say here, but you have. I know you created other books. You've been on our show, and they've come out. So,
Right. Yeah.
but you know how many books it is offhand? Because you've been involved in a lot of them.
I have put out 9 so far. This will be
Yeah.
my 10th.
Okay, so this means something when it's the 10th book. That's like that's a milestone mark. So everybody realize again, you can't get to this page I'm showing. This is a preview page. The page you can get to is the one I linked to it below the video, top of the chat. It will take you to the page where you can like and follow. Do that so that you'll get notified the day this goes live, which will be the first week of March, so that you can get out here and back this. You want the 10th comic from this guy. He's done 9 other ones.
Yeah.
And I haven't even looked at the tiers yet to see how much they are, because I know they're not much. I just didn't remember what they were. $5 for the digital. That's nothing. Definitely do that.
Right. We try to add a little bit to each one. One thing that everybody's going to get that backs it, assuming that the campaign is successful, obviously, is going to be you get listed as a producer in the comic.
Oh, nice. So it's nice to get a little thank you page on the back there, because that's what a movie producer does. All he does is give them money to make a movie. People giving you money to make a comic, they get the credit as a producer. So, you know what I think I like about Kickstarter preview pages is that I don't get that ugly green box every time I try to look at a tier.
Right.
This is great. I can go through all of them and show them, and I don't have to move my mouse off of it. So the basic tier after your digital is you're going to get the print copy and a digital copy and a credit and the sticker, $15. You told me how many pages it was. I don't remember, but
32 pages.
Yeah, I was just about to say 32 pages ish. So
the story itself is 26 pages, but we're going to have those character sketches I sent you. We're going to put those in there, and just so you guys understand the page count idea, pages have to be in denominations of 4. Yeah, so we can't just do a 26-page comic. It had to jump up to 32.
Unless you do perfect bound, and then they can all be on separate sheets. If you're going to do saddle stitch, it's got to be 4. But perfect bound, it just has to be by 2, because it's just a stack of papers that get glued into a binder.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. No. These are getting stapled.
Like a comic should be, really.
Right.
So here's more of the pages that we didn't see.
Yeah.
And there's your character sketches.
Yeah, those are going to be going in the back of the comic.
That's cool. That guy's tall.
Yeah, he's a big dude. And that's the main character there. That's King Ingvar, the guy with the axes there.
Yeah, and the other guy's got a tattoo of I want to say snowflake, but I'm sure it's probably some Norse symbol, because I can tell.
It is. I looked up Norse tattoos, and I picked that one up out of the group. I thought it looked pretty cool. It has almost kind of like if you were to make a Chinese star out of Norse symbols, it kind of looks like that.
Now I want that.
Right.
I want. Oh, it's the tale of a Chinese wanderer, who comes to the Norselands and converts, and he makes Chinese throwing stars, blessed by the Norse gods, because he makes them in the North. Yeah, okay. Crowdfunding just happened for a brand new comic book. You heard it here first, folks.
Nice.
Enter the Frost Dragon. Damn, I think that's a pretty good title too.
Into the Frost Dragon. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. That's the vulva there, the witch.
And her hair is interesting here, because I know that he doesn't draw female hair like this all the other times. So this is more almost like Medusa-esque.
It's supposed to be almost like dreads.
Yeah.
Where she, when you see it all colored, you can see that her face is painted white, and so is her hair. And so the hair's kind of clumped together.
Okay. That's going to be frightening. That's a very imposing look to put on her.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to go for authenticity, so I
Yeah, and you
looked
got
up
those like war
specifically how
paint
they
things
would
going
do
down her
their.
eyes.
Yeah,
So we saw the battle, and you mentioned it was page 6, 7, and 8.
right.
It looks like she's already been scorned by that time. Where do we
No,
get her story? Or
no. Well, I don't know how much I can give. I can tell about that. I don't want to ruin it. Uh,
apparently already been scooped
Essentially,
on that story.
it, how do I say that? Basically, after the war, you see, is when the actual scorning happens. After that battle, they got to spend some time there in that land, and
Okay.
that's when he initially falls in love with the vulva.
I said, well, it didn't look like she was on his side from the beginning. But I could, again, it's just pictures, no words, so I could be reading that wrong. Maybe she's raised the dead to help his battle. I don't know.
And I'd really love to tell you, but I don't want to ruin it.
You can't, and I don't want you to ruin it. I want to be surprised. So, but these are really cool. What's your turnaround time on this? Because you got a lot of pages done.
The colors are being done right now, and according to Tosin, they should take roughly 14 to 15 days.
Okay, so all the pages are drawn then.
The pages are all drawn. They're
Oh,
drawn and inked and everything. They're being colored right now. They should be done by March 1st at the latest.
Okay, so the launch is on March 1st week ish.
Right.
Wiggle room being allowed. Kickstarter's 30 days, so first week of April, campaign's over. When do you print?
Immediately following that.
Okay.
The PDF should be made within, we're talking like a week and a half, 2 weeks or most. Most of the production that's being done during the campaign is going to be the lettering.
Yeah.
So as soon as the lettering gets done, that's going to my graphic designer. He's going to put the PDF together. As soon as that's done, the PDF is going to Wicked for them to print everything out. They're going to get printing out the standard and the variant versions. We also offer in printed copies of Blitz and Fox operations.
Okay, so you're going to have the ability to add on some other titles here. Very cool.
Yeah. We even offer digital copies of Omen Comics.
Oh, well, take advantage of the opportunity to sell more of your previously published comics by all means.
Yeah.
So for $25, so we saw the $15 tier. That's your copy, that's your sticker, that's your digital, and your credit.
Right.
For $25, you're going to get the variant cover, which is this one here. Right.
That's the standard one. The
That's
variant
the
cover
okay.
is the one on the top there. That's the variant cover.
So my mind doesn't work that way. I'm like standard, variant.
Oh, right.
Variant, standard. So this is the one you get for $25.
Yes.
All right. And you get the cover art poster. I'm reading the
description. You're going to get both the standard cover art and the variant cover art. Along with the cover art for Blitz and Insurrection Fox operations.
Oh, nice. So how big are the posters? Are they like, comic cover size prints, or are you going bigger than that?
I believe they're 12 by 18.
Oh, I got to show you my new toy.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because, I distribute comics for people.
Oh, okay.
And my last client had a big poster. So I had to go out and buy me. You know what this is?
Huh.
This is a paper creaser. You set the edges so it's centered, then you press this down, you lift it up, you slide it out, and your poster has a nice crease in it that makes it easy to fold. Looks like it just came from a, well, it's a professional paper folder, so it should look professional. Nice and crisp
Nice.
edge.
My understanding is Wicked's going to use these mailers that the poster is going to be able to arrive flat with the comics and the stickers and everything in it.
That'll be a big flat mailer. I've used 12 by 18s flat mailers, and that's the good thing about it is there's no way in the world the post office can bend it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's what we wanted. Honestly, I don't. The it's not, the posters aren't just like on paper that you can just roll up. It's on a somewhat thick paper, and I think if we folded it, it would. I don't know that crease would come out of it.
Yeah. Well, it's not going to come out of anything that gets creased, but
right.
But for sure, yeah. This is definitely I think it's better. It's okay, is what I'll say, to fold slicks, that kind of poster. But yeah, if you're on some sort of a thicker paper, and you can mail it flat, go for it. Definitely stiff paper mails flat.
Yeah.
So you got a silver level backer here for $48, and there's a lot in this one. You're getting a copy of the script.
Yeah.
So basically everything you had before, the printed variant, the cover art, the digital of Blitz #1, a credited producer, a digital copy of Insurrection, Fox Operations, Book 1. These seem to be in a jumbled order.
Oh,
you're getting new stuff in the middle. You're making it hard on the host here, Michael.
Oh, sorry about that, man.
and the printed standard cover edition at the bottom with the sticker. But it's a package. You get this, and you get some other books as well. The gold level backer for $78. You're going to get even more stuff. So, and this
yeah, that's when we start
change.
throwing in the other comics too. Lots of that stuff. When you start getting into there, you start getting into printed copies of the other comics too.
Yeah. Are you going to do add-ons?
Yes, there's. I got it set up so that you can add on the Omen comics, the Revelation comics, the T-shirt.
Very cool. Yeah, because you can get the Revelation comics here in this $140 tier, the Revelationist backer. And these, I haven't read all of them, but I'm going to assume that every tier I look at is the same as the one above it plus something.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. We went up in stages. I didn't necessarily order them in a proper order, I guess, but there's definitely new stuff added to each section there. Yeah.
Well, I've seen some that's like, this next tier is completely unrelated to anything you saw above. so then I had to read everything, but you'll all be able to read these, folks. It's still 2 weeks out. Yeah, today's the 10th. We're barely into the middle of the month.
Little over 2 weeks, yeah. Just a little over.
Any chance that you might launch early if you get the colored pages before you expect?
It's certainly possible. If Tosin gave us the inks early, so I mean it's certainly possible. He is that dude is a workhorse. I mean he really, when he gets to working, he really busts it out. And as you can see, he does a really good job at it too.
Yeah, he does. I keep scrolling up like I'm going to see the goal get closer. Like, there's no pledging tonight. You can't. There's nobody home if you click the link.
Right.
So I'm trying to think what more I wanted to ask about this, but okay. Oh yeah. Is this a standalone graphic novel, or is this the first chapter of an ongoing story?
It's going to be a mini series.
Okay.
Right now it's set for 3 issues. We'll tell the whole story.
Got it. And after that, the graphic novel version.
Right. Once all the issues get finished, we'll put it out in a trade.
All right. I don't recall. if it said cards, if there were cards in this. You don't you don't do trading cards, do you?
No, we did with that last one, but we didn't make trading cards for this one.
Oh,
We decided to go with stickers instead for this one.
yeah, and the sticker is, it's where did I see it? It's on this.
It's down towards the bottom there, and those are not just big 3x5 stickers; they're waterproof too.
Oh, nice. I'm running out of sticker space on my table, but you know what? I've got a refrigerator front that it's my refrigerator. I'm allowed to put stickers on it if I want to.
Amen.
It's it's little mini fridge. It's I'm going to do something here real quick
Okay.
because I got this today and I want to give a quick shout out. Come to me. My buddies at Hero Shack delivered to me today the third issue of The Great Cyclopean with the Bee Knight villain on the cover here. And I got this as a
nice.
it's the Cyclopean made out of these little bead things that it's a craft hobby, but it's a magnet, so the guy's on my refrigerator, and he sticks
Sweet.
really well. So Chris, Diana, thank you very much for that, and I love getting I get stuff in the mail all the time now. Crowdfunding comics, backing all you guys. It's getting to where I can't really turn around in here. No, seriously, I can't turn around in here. It's all the shipping. It's so here's my last week, Michael. I'm crowded in by books like Montresor and the Cask of Amontillado, and my friend says, well, why don't you buy a bed frame, get your box spring up off the ground? You got 14 inches of clearance. You can put all those boxes in there and have clearance. And I did that. I put the bed frame together 2 days ago. I put all this excess boxes under there. I'm like, I can dance, I can sing, I can move around. You know what happened yesterday? 6 crates of books arrived. I'm back to where I was before. I just have a taller
back
bed.
where you started.
Yeah, absolutely. The good thing is that they're not going to be here long because we try to turn books around. So if everybody's watching and they're waiting for the Embrace, I'm going to put something on social media tonight. That's arrived, so that will be shipping soon. And I'm just waiting on one more book to arrive for Red Eyes, and then I can get those out of here. And then I'll really have an empty room.
Yeah. I know what you mean about space being real estate being precious around the house for storing stuff.
Well, you probably got all your comics in boxes around you right there because you're not allowed to keep them in the bedroom or the living room. Mrs. Nunnally says, put them down in your area, right?
Yeah. Well, definitely got the limited areas where it can be kept. That's for sure.
And you know what? Those are the places in the house you want to be the most, isn't it?
Right. Yeah. Well, luckily, I live alone. Well, with my cat.
There you go. Never mind. You got the whole house.
Yeah. Right. But there's still I got to be careful with where I put stuff. I mean, you can't.
It'll take over.
You start collecting things, it take over your whole house eventually. Yeah.
So
I gotta ask you do a lot of these interviews. Do you know anybody else that's doing that digital guarantee?
I had never ever heard that digital guarantee before. So that's something I think you should. I want to say that you should promote the heck out of it, and at the same time, I don't want people to just say, well, you know what? I'm just going to pretend to be interested in this just to get the digital. I don't think anybody would do that. I mean, come on. It's you only need $1,800.
Right.
That's nothing. That's nothing. $1,800, $15 for the book at the most basic tier. Yes, I'm at the point where I have to use a calculator. That's 120 backers. That's not a big deal. You get 120 backers at the basic level, you'll be fine. You're going to get. I have every faith and confidence that this is going to be funded. So,
right on.
So the guarantee's nice, but you'll not have to use it.
Yeah, I really wanted to do something that would make me stand out from everybody else, but also I wanted something that would really, they're taking a risk in backing a Kickstarter campaign, and
Yeah.
I wanted them, I want them to feel like, we're in that boat with you, and we thank you for taking that risk. And I'm hoping that this establishes a rapport between us and those that back us, that they know that they're going to get something out of this, guaranteed.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a great idea. Again, it's one of those guarantees where you can make it, and you're not going to have to fulfill on it because you're going to get funded, and you said the comic's going to exist anyway, right? So if it doesn't get backed, you're still going to go to press with it in some other fashion. I mean, your own money to get it into the distribution.
If it is not funded, the only people that'll get it right away are my patrons, because they get my comics regardless of the status or success of any campaigns. But I mean, as soon as Wicked is scheduling us to get more of our comics on their website, and Sater's just going to go on that list of comics they're going to be putting on there. So I mean, it'll be available. But if the thing isn't successful, the printed versions, it'll probably be a couple of months before that gets going.
I gotcha. And does Wicked has a distribution plan to get into stores, or are they still working on that?
They're currently working on it. I'm not sure exactly what the status is of that, but I know that they're working pretty hard on getting the comics all to look really professional, and doing stuff like getting barcodes on the comics. They're really trying to make things more professional, and so that we're ready for when that distribution happens.
Okay, I know that Varian Grant's organization, Liberty Entertainment Distribution, is already getting printed independent books into comic stores. So there's there are avenues that exist for that.
Really?
Already.
Could you tell me that name again?
Liberty Entertainment Group.
Liberty Entertainment Group. I will check that out.
Okay, I'm looking at it now. Yeah, it's Liberty Entertainment Group. In fact, they have a website. This is the right one. Yes, this is definitely the right one. ledg.us. So it's Liberty Entertainment Distribution Group. Yep, I'm looking at the books that I recognize. The Oswald Chronicles, Only Death Can Save Us. I've not seen Psycho Sirens before, but I'm interested. So yeah, there we go. All right, Michael, is there anything more about this book that we didn't cover? I mean, you got a lot of story and very little that you can actually reveal in a. There's Pops is lurking in the background. Yes, he's already got the website up, and you can actually should be able to click on it from the message, because Pops is a wrench, so he has link capability.
Right on.
So
I guess I just want to say that I in my opinion, I've written about 12 comics so far, and in my opinion, Sater is my best work.
Cool. That says a lot, because you have, and in a way it makes sense, because you should get better the more you do something.
Totally.
So your latest thing should always be your best thing. No one's going to say, yeah, I've gotten to where I can just phone it in now. That's not going to make anybody want to buy your book. So all right, very exciting.
That's one thing that's really great about the team I work with is really it seems like everybody gets a little bit better with each book.
That's going to be so cool. 5-10 years from now, all these independent people still making books, and they're going to be known quantities by that point. They're like, it'll be like looking back at Image, like, yeah, I was there for Spawn #1 and all this other stuff.
Yeah. That's what I'm going for.
Organic growth. Though. All right.
Well,
Michael, at this point, I think I'm best served to just say thank you for coming on tonight and bringing Sater to our audience.
Yeah, really. Thanks for having me on, man. I really appreciate it.
In anytime, folks, click on that link I told you about. Get out there and click the little heart icon so that Kickstarter starts telling you when this thing launches, so you don't miss it. It's gonna be first week of March, and 30-day campaign, so a very short window. Kickstarter doesn't let you do the whole Indiegogo stuff of 60 days plus in demand plus whatever else you can do with it.
Oh, one final note before we go.
Yes.
If this is successful and we start looking at stretch goals, I already got one in mind. We're talking about a big horizontal 12 by 18 picture of just the battlefield with the dead rising up from the grave and all that.
Very
And
cool.
we're,
That'd be nice.
it's gonna be a nice one. And if that stretch goal is met, everybody's gonna get one.
Awesome. All right. So yeah, be ready to throw money at this in about 3 weeks, people. And when you do launch, come back on here and we'll start encouraging people to throw money at you.
Will do, man. Thanks.
All right, everybody in the chat, thank you so much for being here tonight. We don't have a show without you. And as always, while you were here, we just hope you had a blast. Good night.